Hi, my name's Callum from Customer Success at DataRobot. I am here today to show you a solution that I've created or scripted that is designed to cater for a deficiency that we have in the API calls within DataRobot, or within a specific API call within DataRobot. It's being fixed. It's on the roadmap, but a couple of my customers have expressed their desire to be able to do this without waiting for that enhancement. They want to do it not through the GUI, but through the UI, through the API. So what I thought I'd do is just show you how one would go about doing this in the GUI, and then what my script hopes to automate. You can see here I've navigated to a particular project, and I've navigated to a particular model, and I want to run predictions in a batch way. So I would provide a file here, and it would return me the result, really just the result and the threshold with in the order that I sent to it. Now, that's fine in most cases, but in many cases, we'll want to provide, or we'll want included in those results either some sort of database key or something that's useful to take those results and join them to another table potentially. So that's where this optional features comes in, and this is where we can add columns in here as we see fit. And this is something that you can't currently do in the API, which is essentially why I've created this script. Now, I am just going to show the script. It's not terribly long. It's 100 lines or so, a couple hundred lines. It's using something called Selenium, which is a way to interact with a web browser through code. So it really emulates or simulates the clicks that I would do normally within a UI, but within code. So what this is going to do is going to log into DataRobot. Now I'm running, by the way, I think I'll just explain this really quickly. I'm running this as not in headerless mode or headless mode, which means that a web browser is now going to pop up and we're going to see all of this stuff, because if I ran it in headless mode as true, you wouldn't see any of this good stuff, and it would do all of the same stuff and we would get the results, but you wouldn't see anything. So what it's going to do now is log into DataRobot, and keep in mind I'm not, this is happening live in front of me. I'm not touching the keyboard. I don't have somebody, a stooge, entering anything in the keyboard or clicking anything on the mouse. But what it's going to do is go through the steps that I would normally need to do to get to a specific project. So you can see up the top, I'm at this project, this demo default small training. I don't want that project. I've set up in my settings, which I'll show you in a moment, that I want the 10K diabetes project. And I'm going to be providing a file to generate predictions, batch predictions, but I'm also going to be including an additional column or an optional feature. And you'll note here that as I'm just scrolling down, you'll note that admission type ID is the optional feature that I've chosen, and now I'm uploading a file from my local machine. Now this this pop-up window here sort of obscures the view, so I'm actually going to go and click cancel on this. It actually doesn't matter. Everything would happen normally without me doing this. I just want to see it. So you can see I'm actually already uploading this file. It doesn't matter that I clicked cancel. And normally you wouldn't see any of this anyway. This is really just for demonstration purposes. You can see now compute predictions is available. And so I'll shortly be clicking on that, or the script will be clicking on that shortly. And you'll see that the DataRobot worker springs to life, and it's going about its work. So this is going to take a couple of seconds, and after it computes the predictions, we'll then download the predictions to my downloaded items, and then we'll actually delete this row. We'll delete this prediction data set because it just again, that's something that's probably optional, but I've done that cleanup as well within the script. What I'm waiting for now is, if I scroll to my downloads, I'm expecting the script to send me, or rather write a file into this downloads directory. And if I scroll back to the code, you can see that within the script I have an environment file, and so that environment file lists the things like where I'm logging in, how I'm logging in. There is the file, the path to the file. So this is the file that I'm inputting to generate predictions. The optional features column that I wanted added. And you can see that the predictions have now been exported. So I should be seeing that in my downloads directory in just a moment. And there's various other settings here as well. So project name, cleanup flag, etc. So if I go back to my downloads, you can see that it's just happened then, so 8:46. And importantly, if I open this up, you can see that even though it's probably not the most useful column to include, it has indeed included this admission type ID column, which was a part of the settings. I'll be uploading this to GitHub, and I'll provide a link in the description. Please feel free to use it, distribute to your customers, and yeah, it might be a good solution for the interim while we're adding this feature into our API. Thank you very much. Any questions, email me at callum@datarobot.com.